Picture this. It is 3 a.m. in South Africa. The streets are quiet. But in millions of homes, in Soweto, in Cape Town, in Durban, in Pretoria, screens are glowing. Eyes are wide open, hearts are pounding. Because tonight, finally, after 16 years of waiting, 16 years of near misses, 16 years of heartbreak, Bafana Bafana are playing for something real. And the whole of Africa? Some of them are watching, but not all of them are cheering. Because the truth is, most people had written South Africa off, long before they even kicked a ball. Too small, too weak, too nervous for a stage this big.
You know, because I've been a target over the last few days about things that I haven't said. I didn't speak anything about Africa and people supporting Mexico.
Even some African fans had moved on. Some had never believed. But on the night of June 24th, 2026, in a stadium in Monterrey, Mexico, Bafana Bafana did something no South African team has ever done in the history of this sport. And they did it against the odds, against the doubt, against the continent that forgot about them. Welcome to Football Detailing, and let's get started. To understand what Bafana Bafana just pulled off, you have to understand where they have been. South Africa first appeared at a FIFA World Cup in 1998, a nation reborn after apartheid. A football team carrying the hopes of the Rainbow Nation onto the grandest stage in sport. They went out in the group stage. They came back in 2002, went out in the group stage again. Then in 2010, they hosted the entire tournament. The first African nation ever to do so. They had Sifiwe Tshabalala's thunderbolt against Mexico. They had the Vuvuzelas. They had the whole continent behind them. And still, they went out in the group stage. Worse than that, they became the first host nation in World Cup history to be eliminated without making it past the group stage. Then came the long silence. They missed 2006. They missed 2014. They missed 2018. They missed 2022. 16 years outside the World Cup. A generation of South African children grew up never watching Bafana at football's biggest tournament. And when they finally qualified for 2026, topping their CAF group ahead of Nigeria, in one of Africa's tightest qualifying battles, many people saw it as a nice story, a feel-good return, nothing more. Nobody expected what was coming. The architect of this journey is a Belgian man who most South African fans were suspicious of when he arrived, Hugo Broos, 73 years old at the time of the 2026 World Cup, a man who, as a player, helped Belgium reach the semi-finals of the 1986 World Cup, and as a coach, had previously guided Cameroon to an AFCON title. When Broos took charge of Bafana Bafana in 2021, he made bold statements. He said the team needed discipline, professionalism, a new mentality. Many people laughed. South African football had heard it all before. But Broos went to work. He installed Ronwen Williams as captain, a goalkeeper with ice in his veins, who would go on to be ranked among the top 10 goalkeepers in the world at the 2024 Ballon d'Or. The same Ronwen Williams who, at the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations, saved 4 penalties in a single shootout against Cape Verde, a feat never before achieved in AFCON history. He led Bafana to a 4th-place finish, their best in the tournament since 2000. Under Broos, South Africa stopped being a team that played with fear, and the 2026 World Cup was about to show the world exactly how far they had come. June 11th, 2026, Mexico City, Estadio Azteca. The exact same fixture that opened the 2010 World Cup, South Africa versus Mexico. This time, the roles are reversed. Mexico are the co-hosts, and the stakes feel just as massive. Bafana start the tournament in the worst possible way. Julian Quiñones puts Mexico ahead in just the 9th minute. Raúl Jiménez doubles it in the 67th. The scoreline reads 2-0. South Africa are bottom of Group A. Online, the criticism comes fast and fierce. Hugo Broos is accused of being too cautious, too defensive, playing the wrong system. Midfielder Yaya Sithole is sent off. He will miss the next game through suspension. Key players, Teboho Mokoena and Themba Zwane, pick up yellow cards that will rule them out of Game 3. Africa, which had been quietly watching, grows louder in its skepticism. Some corners of social media declare it over. Comments appear under Bafana fan pages. You were never good enough. Go back to Africa. Inside the camp, Hugo Broos goes quiet. and then he gets to work. June 18th, 2026, Atlanta, Georgia. Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Czechia versus South Africa. Both teams on the edge. 1 point each is on the table for both, but one of them needs to start climbing. Michal Sadilek puts Czechia ahead in the 6th minute, early again. South Africa go behind again. The narrative that this team starts slow, crumbles under pressure. It feels like it is writing itself. But this Bafana team does not crumble. They push, they press, they believe. And when the referee points to the spot in the 83rd minute, it is Teboho Mokoena who steps up and slots the penalty home. 1-1. A fist pump, a roar, a point that keeps everything alive. After the match, Broos speaks to the media. He says, "I am extremely proud of the players. The way they reacted after the Mexico match showed the true identity of this team." And then he says the line that will define everything that follows. "Our fate remains in our own hands." Beat South Korea in the final group game, and Bafana Bafana go through. Lose or draw, and it is over. Everything comes down to one game. June 24th, 2026, 3 a.m. in South Africa. Estadio Bibava, Guadalupe, Mexico. Broos makes a decision that surprises everyone. He starts 19-year-old Relebohile Mofokeng of Orlando Pirates, a player the fans had been demanding all tournament. A player full of pace, energy, and the kind of fearlessness that youth gives you when you have nothing to lose. South Korea are not a bad team. They have Son Heung-min on the bench as insurance. They are dangerous on the counter. The first half is tense. Bafana dominate possession in stretches. 63rd minute. Substitute Chepang Moremi receives the ball, drives at the Korean defense, and slides a pinpoint pass into the path of Thapelo Maseko. Maseko takes one touch, jinks inside, and fires low and hard beyond the goalkeeper. 1-0. The bench erupts. Hugo Broos falls to his knees on the touchline. Thousands of kilometers away, South Africa explodes. It is Bafana Bafana's first non-penalty goal at a World Cup since 2010. And for the first time in the history of South African football, Bafana Bafana are through to the knockout stages of a FIFA World Cup. Hugo Broos collapses to the turf. The bench floods the pitch. Players embrace, tears fall. And somewhere, in a country that stayed up until 3 a.m. for this moment, an entire nation loses its mind. Here is the thing about African football that outsiders rarely understand. When one of us wins, we all feel it. When Nigeria lifts a trophy, Ghana feels it. When Senegal finally broke through at a World Cup, the whole continent celebrated. Football on this continent is not just a sport, it is identity. It is pride. It is proof. And for years, too many years, Bafana Bafana had been the team Africa quietly pitied. The team that hosted the World Cup and couldn't survive the group stage. The team that missed 4 consecutive tournaments. The team that always promised and never delivered. So yes, some African fans doubted them. Some wrote think pieces about whether South Africa's football infrastructure could ever produce a World Cup contender. Some said the golden era of Bafana ended with Benny McCarthy and Lucas Radebe and would never return. On June 24th, 2026, Bafana Bafana sent every one of those doubts into the Monterrey night. They now face Canada in the round of 32. A new chapter, a clean page, and for the first time, truly for the first time, nobody knows how far this team can go. Football has a way of humbling the arrogant and rewarding the patient. Hugo Broos was patient. Ronwen Williams was patient. This squad, most of them from domestic South African football, players from Mamelodi Sundowns and Orlando Pirates who play in front of their own people every week. They were patient. If you are new here, subscribe. Football Detailing is where we break down the stories, the tactics, and the moments that matter most. Like this video if Bafana deserved their moment. And drop in the comments. Do you think they can go further? Can Bafana shock Canada too? I'll see you in the next one.